Hi, and welcome to another episode of Real Estate Unleashed. I am your host, Bridget Quinn. You can find me on all social media at BQuinn Realtor.
And I'm Regan Hildebrand. You can find me on social media at Regan. Welcome, Bridget.
Welcome, Regan.
Well, Halloween was over for most of the people that are listening.
Yeah, by the time that this shows up, it is definitely over, but
Spooky season's gone.
Spooky season, and moving on straight into, I would say we'd move right on into Thanksgiving, but we know that that's a lie with the retailers.
Yeah, it's time to decorate. It's time for the festive season.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Oh, yeah. Winter is approaching.
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming.
Brace yourselves.
Gosh. It's been crazy. We fly through the whole year.
We do.
And now we're here. In the fun times. The festive times.
The Festivus.
We say that with a little bitterness or remorse. Yeah, everything kind of slows down this time of year.
It does. As we've decided to deem it, the winter slowdown.
The winter slowdown. Yeah, it's like, you finally catch your breath. We didn't catch our breath last year, though.
No.
Last year was not a slowdown.
Not at all.
Now we're back to normal times.
Back to normal now, so...
Yeah, but it's like, you spend all year as agents, just doing.
The grind.
Mm-hmm. And now, even then, when we say doing, we're out there just showing and selling, right?
Yep, hustling.
Yeah, and now...
Trying to, anyway.
And now you're just getting your calendar ready for 2023.
I know, it's crazy. This year has really flown by. Or is it just when you get older?
Well, time's
I am older.
Time's been some kind of weird singularity since COVID started, right?
As Doctor Who would say, it's a little wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
I was going back through my database and just fine-tuning everything, and it was a hot mess because, like you said, you get towards the end of the year and you realize how much housekeeping you haven't done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going through my Excel spreadsheets and updating deals and make sure client information is correct. And I'm seeing some deals that were from back in early this year. And I'm thinking, how was that March of 2022?
I don't know. That's what I said.
Because it feels like forever ago for some of them.
Yeah.
And others feel like yesterday.
Yes.
And then I look back at the ones, because I've had some clients this year that they're selling the home that they purchased 2019.
Mm-hmm. Pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm. And then I realized, that's a 3-year gap.
It doesn't seem like it.
No, not at all. Yeah. And you had a client too, I think recently, that you were working with, for a repeat client, right? Mm-hmm. And when I look at the repeat clients that I've worked with, it doesn't feel like the gaps don't make sense.
No.
Like the time between, whether it be...
It feels like it's non-existent, or I don't know. It's just the concept of time between the deals and all of this stuff just feels surreal almost,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And quantum.
Let's see how many fandoms we can throw out there today.
World.
Quantum leaps.
Quantum mania.
That will be coming out soon.
That will be. My son's excited.
Yeah.
I am too.
I do
I think
love
Black Panther's first, though.
Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
while we're on the topic, I am
Loki
wearing
season 2.
The Loki season. Bow down to me.
Yeah.
Funny story. Saw it on TV last night.
Mm-hmm.
My cat went over and he was watching it. His name is Loki, so Loki was watching Loki.
Yeah, that's like a trippy little thing, right? The cat's saying his namesake.
Yes.
But yeah, that whole feel of the time, the spread, everything, they're just so weird. And I think too, for people that maybe have been in the houses for a while, I know my clients, I've got some right now, again, the ones that sold or bought in 2019, they're now selling. And, they say, well, it doesn't feel like it's been 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then you ask them, what have you done in the last 3 years?
Oh, I've done this and that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or what have you not done? It's the real question.
Speaking of what you've not done, if you are thinking about selling and you're really not wanting to do it immediately, which, again, this is a great time to sell still because there are buyers out there looking for things. right? You know, I mean, I know you've got several buyers actively looking for homes. So now would be a great time to push that maintenance that you've deferred, which we talked about previously, you know. Maybe it's the painting, maybe it's just the maintenance, maybe you had the piece of siding that needs to be replaced. Now is a great time to do those things. It's not hot as Hades outside anymore.
And it's easier to get contractors.
You've got the timing to do it, and you know, it prepares you to get the best offer on your property that you still can, because you've taken care of what needs to be done.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like you can get done in this slower real estate market that just are going to pay dividends down the line.
Yep.
Whether it be the deferred maintenance stuff, or, you know, finishing up a little, maybe, you know, repaint the cabinets, get the carpets cleaned, stuff like that. And, you know, too, a lot of people are already going to do that before the family comes in to visit in the holidays anyhow. True. So you're killing two birds with one stone.
True. Very true.
But yeah, the spring cleaning doesn't make sense for most people if you're thinking about real estate, because by the time spring comes around,
well, you're already shifting gears from that fourth to fifth to sixth gear by spring, because typically that's when a lot of people, or we start to see a lot of people sell the houses, because they want to start to sell it in spring or by mid-spring, so that they can have a, you know, sold and into a new house come summer.
Yeah.
So when the kids are out of school.
My theory for anybody listening that's thinking like, when's the right time to list? The right time's now. I mean, I know it's cliche, but if you can get it on the market now, then absolutely do, because we can't crystal ball into the future to tell you what things are going to look like.
Well, I'll say, you know, I would push for now, because you're not competing with, you know, a whole bunch of other people at this time too. There's still a ton of buyers out there. And if you can have a property that looks great, it's in good condition because you've taken care of it, you've done those little projects, you set yourself apart to where you're not constantly, like, as I say, that apples to apples competition.
Yep, absolutely.
You're going to really stand out and, you know, do yourself the favor of getting that hopefully under contract fairly quickly and at top dollar still.
This is the weirdest market, because we have...
Not just because of us, right?
Not because of us. It's so strange, because, we have interest rates going up. We feel a slowdown, obviously. But inventory is still stupid low. There isn't enough for buyers to pick from.
No. Well, as you say, it's, what was it? You got to have considered 6 months worth to have an equal market.
Yeah.
Last I looked, we were at a little over a month and a third.
I mean, it might be at 2 now, but either way, it's still not enough. And what I'm finding, even on the new construction side, is that the builders were spending so much time building these, and I hate to say it, cookie cutter homes and these tract subdivisions that are, you know, maybe there's four elevations to choose from.
And by elevations, they mean like what the front looks like, or, you know, you may have the same model and maybe it's different stonework or different colors, or the roof lines are slightly different. That's elevation. Yeah.
And you don't have the diversity in the new construction. Again, it's like, so it's frustrated a lot of people that I've talked to. They say, well, I don't want to build, or I don't want to buy new construction, even though there are great deals out there, because these homes don't appeal to me. So if you have an existing home, and a lot of people are, you know, in these homes that trend-wise go, which we talked about trends before, have come and gone. But like, for instance, I showed a beautiful open foyer, or a split foyer floor plan yesterday that back when it was built in the 70s, you know, was a big trend. That was the style
then, you know, you go up and you go down, come into the main entrance. I still like those. There's a lot back where I grew up. That's kind of the trend.
Yeah, you had these pockets of these split foyer, or the split level. And those faded out in the 90s, and then they started to creep back up. And again, it's just everything's cyclical. So that house being on the market was a big thing for my clients. If it hadn't been there, then they would still be searching.
Sure.
So, yeah, now's the right time. But if you're absolutely adamant that you can't get it done now, then start doing the things to
prepare for it. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, make use of this. We're going to probably beat the horse saying the winter slowdown, but you know, do what you need to do to get it done.
Absolutely.
Take advantage of it. Don't just sit there and
do the right things. Number one, and this is, it sounds cliche, but number one, get an agent that can advise you correctly.
I know 2 agents sitting here right now.
And if we're not in your market, then we will absolutely hook you up with somebody who shares the same ideologies and thought processes as we do.
You know, we have pretty good eyes. We know what's current trends, as you say, what's out there, and
the process of preparing.
Right. Yeah. And we have the resources to help you get there if you're not ready just yet.
Precisely, because there's so many things that you can spin your wheels on. And God bless, you know, the sellers that are anxious about it. Some people think, well, I'm going to paint the basement. Well, let's first pressure wash the exterior, because that's the first thing people
Priorities,
see.
Yeah.
And prioritizing based on what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. I know you do the same. I look at it from ROI.
Yep.
If it's not going to give you a return
of investment.
If it's not going to give you a return on investment to paint the drop ceiling in the basement, don't do it. I mean, or if the next buyer's going to rip it out, why are you painting it?
Right.
Or why are you changing carpet if most likely the new buyer is just going to want to rip it out?
Right.
And put down LVP.
Well, yeah, that's again the benefits of working with realtors like us, that can tell you, here's where to put your money, here's where not to waste your time. Time is money.
Right. And sometimes you may not get the money back, but you'll get the sale much easier, much faster.
And there's other ways to do it too. Like if you totally need new carpet or something, we could say, right, well, we'll advertise as we'll give allowance for new flooring, or we'll give allowances for painting, or whatever have you. We have a ton of strategies. Yeah,
and I don't like it when people call us after they've done what they think is ready to be sold, or ready to list, I should say.
And it's not.
And and then you have to break it to them. You're sitting on a 40-year-old AC unit that we could have spent that money on. Yeah. The deferred maintenance pieces. So there's all these things that I think during this winter months that we want to get people actually locked into mindset wise of what needs to be done to get ready if you're not ready already.
Get ready to get ready if you're not already ready.
2023 is coming. It's a lot to take on, and I think that's another reason that we encourage you to get with an agent who can not just hold your hand, but also tell you that, this makes sense. Give you some reassurance, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
As I say, there's still a lot of people out there just looking for homes, so why not go ahead and, jump in during this time where you can stand out.
Yeah, and you may think you need to do more than you actually do.
Well, we've talked about before, now sellers, you are going to have to do a few things, to your house. But again, if there's not much competition out there, you may not have to do as much as you think.
Right.
Right,
Yeah, exactly. Or you can still be in progress. I've got sellers that went ahead and listed, but they're switching out light fixtures and things after being
afterwards.
Listed.
Yeah. Well, again, that's simple things of we can update our notes in the MLS to say whatever.
Yeah, we can explain away a lot of it.
To be done during this time, and explain.
Yeah, but and on the buyer side too, like you had mentioned, people are frustrated by lack of inventory, and they want to see your house. They want to get into it. So get the feedback if you're the seller from and know what needs to what people are thinking about your house, and give the buyers the opportunity to come to you.
Well, you can't always change things that's in feedback, right? Well, if somebody doesn't like the floor plan, generally speaking, that's not something you can immediately change.
Right.
But if somebody says, you walk into the living room and the living room felt very small because it was full of furniture, that's something you can change. Do you know?
Precisely. Yeah, we can declutter.
We can help. And
yeah, the buyers are wanting to see things still. People do shop less, I think, in the winter months, which again gives us a little breathing room.
Yeah.
More time to record.
More time to record. More time to do fun specials.
That's right.
And if you haven't already seen our Halloween special, it's worth checking out.
Yeah.
Just for the pure entertainment value.
Yeah, we got a lot to now to top with the next one.
We do.
A lot of planning goes into that. So, and that's what we spend a lot of our time doing in these slowdown times is working to, like I said, I've been trying to make my database not a hot mess and get things out there.
Well, as you say,
marketing-wise.
we do stuff, as agents and other agents out there that are listening. We know that, you're going to work on, are you sending out those cards next year, or, remembering people that have purchased homes this past year. You're going to remember them next year. There's a lot of that sort of stuff. And Regan and I like to also plan things with our firm of upcoming community events or upcoming, things that we're going to put on and promote for the community to come meet and greet us and come have fun and things like that. So, we try not to sit and be idle during this time frame. We definitely take advantage, or, I know I'm already done with my education, and we talked about it previously, but as agents, getting that continued education done for the year, or, getting certified in an area topic, different things like that. So there's still a ton, as far as agents go, if we're not working actively with sellers and buyers, that we still are working on for ourselves.
Yeah, and I know it goes that way for a lot of others out there too. And you talk to obviously agents who are planning Christmas events and things of that nature, and some are just taking vacations. And God bless us all. Sometimes we just need time to breathe and take some time off. Sure. And it's a
stressful job, and it's easy to get burnt out if you don't have that time for yourself and time to relax and catch up on your mental health alone.
Yeah. And thank God for leftover Halloween candy to eat my feelings. And you were talking about.
Although after our Halloween event from Saturday,
that's what I was about to mention.
We did not have any leftover candy.
No, I've got to go back out and buy for.
Well, let me tell you, if you go back out, just so you know, there's only Christmas candy out. I went yesterday and got some more candy. We're recording this on Halloween, by the way, so when you see this, it'll make sense. Gosh. But I stopped at BJ's again for some more candy. Not a single Halloween bag out there. It's only Christmas. Oh, so the kids in my neighborhood, shout out Roberta Farms, you're getting some Christmas candy.
Nothing wrong with Reese's Christmas trees.
Well, that is part of the mix.
You
so
can give those out
if you feel like dressing up and coming by, I'll give you some Reese's Christmas trees. I'll be out on
my porch probably handing out Christmas candy too. Then, jeez. Yeah, we had that. So we did our first annual home team realty group trunk or treat here right where we record out in our parking lot area. And we were planning, just to kind of give a little behind the scenes, we were planning for 60 to 100 kids, best case scenario. And I know our final I think we feel pretty good about our estimate is 300 people.
At least 300 people. So I did treat bags of 120 for kids.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if I get rid of all of these treat bags for the kids, phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I got an extra bag just in case. And I don't think we were expecting the onslaught.
It was awesome. And if you were watching great. And you came and brought the kids,
thank you so much.
The family,
it was fantastic.
Thank you.
We had
it
a
was
lot of fun.
Awesome. And I know we're going to look forward to next year, tweak a few things, make it even bigger and better. And that's part of what we do during this time. We're planning those events like you mentioned. Right. And that trunk or treat was huge kickoff into this kind of
phenomenal. A lot of fun
holiday season. Yeah. And that's what that's if you're not actively buying or selling, you can still engage with us. We hope you will. It's a good time to kind of strategize about what you want to do next year. And I have plenty of clients that reach out and say, I don't know if we should sell or if we should buy.
What's the scoop? What's the skinny?
Yeah, and we'll tell it to you like it is. I know a lot of the coaching says, well, now's always the right time to buy. And for most people, if you're in a rental situation or some other situation, you're going to save money. But there are extraneous circumstances for people that, and a lot of, didn't I just move? Spooky season's here.
Spooky season.
There's a lot of situations where we need to time it right for you, and we'll talk you through it. because the worst situation is having people that have buyer's remorse or seller's remorse.
Sure.
And having had a client that life situation caused them to have buyer's remorse, not anything they could have predicted, but having watched them go through it, it was heartbreaking. So I'd rather people get as much information and make the right decision.
Sure. I mean, I've had, as I say, like, I've had several sellers that have reached out to me previously before they ended up enlisted, like 5-6 months previously.
Yeah.
And at that time, here's your information, here's what I think we can get. And life just isn't ready for that yet.
Yeah.
So then they've come back, and this one that I'm closing on today, that's kind of the situation too. It worked out timing. Yeah, they may not get as much as they could have got 6 months ago, but life happened.
Yeah.
And now actually everything turned out perfect and the way that it needed to be. So, that's what we're here for too, is, to give you
educated
insight and education.
Decisions. Informed and educated decisions.
Hopefully.
Right.
Most
And
days.
And yeah, so we're not really slowing down in the winter months. We're just changing our focus a little bit.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And that's
shifting.
Oh yeah, that's going to be our 2022 theme.
Yeah,
shifting to higher gear in the spring. We always do, but I think it's a good kind of recap to see where we're heading and things. And I know we got some other episodes where we'll talk about, just the little various niche parts of the market and things that
niche or niche depends,
yes.
right?
Yes. It's all correct. Potatoes, potatoes.
Potatoes. Ooh,
but
potatoes.
It is Realtor, not Realtor.
Well, it depends on if you're talking from the South. Realtor.
You sound like Tony making that impression.
Well,
he's influenced you.
Well, no.
Yeah. So
ask Tony to speak Southern, because some of the people like, how y'all doing now?
Irish Southern.
Oh, Lord help us. I don't know. But
on that note, I think we kind of talked a little bit about what the mindset is, and then we're going to jump into some other topics here coming up too, and get into.
I think that's a good intro session to, get ready and.
And in future episodes here, we got one plan where we're going to kind of dispel some myths.
Ooh.
Yeah. And talk turkey coming up. Talk turkey.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Yeah.
Again, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It helps us a ton. If you're watching on YouTube, just take a second and hit the subscribe for us. Yeah. We promise we won't blow you up with anything other than our good content here. And thanks again for joining us. I'm Regan with the Home Team Realty Group. You can find me on social media at Regan.
And I am Bridget Quinn, also with the Home Team Realty Group. And you can find me on all social media at B Quinn Realtor. And as always, we'll see you next time. Tune in.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.